Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. I'll be honest with you guys, the news is slim pickings. There's not a lot here. So we're gonna talk about a couple things. We're gonna discuss the possibility of Star Fox being in the Mario movie because there's a picture that's kind of pointing towards that. So we'll take a look at that. And also, we might be getting Dusk Bloods on March 27th. So we will jump into that as well. And hopefully that is the case. I wouldn't be mad about that. That's gonna be a big hitter for the Switch too. So I see Hay is here. What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Gotta be gotta be like early morning for you at this point, right? So thanks for staying up late and hanging out. Joey Pitts is here. What's going on? Good to see ya. So let's see. I'm gonna share my screen here real quick. So let's talk about this Duskbloods. Um the listing has appeared. I put out a video about this today. There's a listing in the Australian eShop for Duskbloods in the coming soon, right? And so that was like, okay, that's something to chat about. But then Finland, there was a Finnish retailer has has the game coming out on the 27th of March. And so everybody, like all of the articles that I've seen on this, they're like, "Yo, we haven't really seen anything about this game." Like, what? So it seems a bit like like where's the marketing? I think that's what a lot of people are asking. Where's the marketing for this game? And so what does that mean? Does that mean we are going to potentially get a direct? Does it mean that there's going to be some kind of just a direct for this game since it's an exclusive? And but after seeing like how does this game show? Okay. We just got to watch a partner direct. This game wasn't included, which really should have been, especially if it's coming in just a few like literally like a month and a half. Also, when you go back to that direct and you think about what how they showed Resident Evil and how Leon couldn't hit, there was no blood splatter, nothing like that. How well does this game show outside of what they've already shown? Is there more that they can show? I'm very curious. So I want to say what's up. We got a bunch of new faces. I see Cool Kid, Nady Nay, Chev. It looks like Amanda. What's going on? Welcome on in, everybody. So good to see you. Looks like Chevket, maybe. So welcome, welcome. So how does this game show? And we're about 6 weeks out. So are they gonna do a big push? Is this game gonna come out before Elden Ring? That's another question that I have. Does it come out before Elden Ring? So there's so many questions surrounding this game. It wouldn't be the first time that a retailer has posted something and then it did not come to fruition. You know, it was just a typo, a mistake on their end. But it's kind of got people a bit curious because not only is the Australian eShop get the listing that it's coming soon, but then you you also get this leak from this Finnish retailer. So that it's just it's very curious, you know? So I see a handful of more people. Tech Town, welcome on in. Steel Heads, what's going on? Good to see you. And let's see. Tech Town said crazy good camera quality. Camera Sony A600. It is a Canon EOS R with a 35 millimeter 1.8 lens, I believe. I believe that's what it is. So I see Steak is here as well. Welcome on in. And yeah, so I'm ready for Duskbloods. Guys, when I tell you, like the beginning of the show, I don't think a lot of you guys were here yet. The news today is there's nothing there. There's patch notes for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Um, the new Skyrim update brings 60 FPS. That's good. Nintendo Switch news section uses the Doomslayer render from Doom: The Dark Ages. So is that hinting at something? Hopefully. The Sega's YouTube banner was worth mentioning in the news cycle. That's apparently how slow it is. That kind of references the 2010s for their 35th anniversary. And Kristen Bell is going to voice Amy Rose in Sonic 4. So like there's like you go to the different Nintendo sites, there's very little out there. So my thought is tonight we kind of have an open forum. You guys can bring some topics, we can chat about it. I think Wednesdays we need to get our game of the week going again, the NSO game of the week. That needs to happen. And so I was going to like maybe take a poll from you guys and get some um get some thoughts on which game we should do next. And so um even from which console. I'm so you guys can let me know if you got any suggestions for games there we can chat about, but I want to get that going again just for this slow just for these slow nights. And so Hay says the Sonic 4 is kind of big. I mean, it is. It's just not specifically gaming. That's all. It is definitely big, getting that casting, but it's not technically gaming. I know it's somewhat game related, but just when it comes to gaming news right now, it's it's pretty slim pickings. So I want to see if I can find a um Fox Mario movie. Let's see. So I always get nervous doing images. So there's a couple things. So right here, I don't know if you can kind of see this right here. It's a little bit small. But next to Yoshi here, this kind of looks like Fox, okay? It kind of looks like Fox. It it, it looks like there might be a gun holstered on his side. It could be a radio. I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit. You got Luigi over on the other side. Somebody said they think it could be Luigi's bike. I think Rogers Base, I think I saw him tweet about it saying he thinks it might be like somebody's vehicle of some kind could be landed there. But here's what I found. Here's what was a bit interesting to me. If you scroll down, the first thing I thought of, well, the R-Wing was present in the first movie. It's sitting on Mario's TV when they're watching the news and when he's playing Kid Icarus. The R-Wing, so they teased Star Fox in the first movie, or at least that universe is part of it. Nate is pointing out, and it's a well deserved roast that Zelda's foot. Um, yeah, yeah, looked. Yeah, thanks for bringing that one. Reminding me of that one, Nate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. Yeah, it was her foot. Okay, it was her foot. I'm I'm I'll own it. I'll own it. But I do think it is a bit interesting that there is an R-Wing from the first movie, and that this, like, I mean, without anybody even saying anything, as soon as I saw this, I was like, "Oh yeah, that looks like Star Fox." Like, now it could be some like completely off the wall uh character. It looks like this. We're just gonna spread some um spread some fake news here, but this says Chris Hemsworth bringing iconic video game uh To life with Star Fox. He's gonna voice Star Fox, I guess. So, you know, I highly unlikely. But the other thing that got me thinking, well, Donkey Kong introduced in the first one, maybe Star Fox introduced in this one, and so um, who knows? Who knows? Maybe maybe Samus is introduced in the third one, and then when I put that to the guys in the chat for with Johnny and Cheesy and Crawler, Johnny said we'd have a Smash movie for the fourth one. So there you go. There you go. Um, yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very curious on what's happening there. I'm just so stoked for this movie. But does this movie also feel like there's a ton packed into it? Like a ton packed into it? The like if you just kind of just from memory, I'll just break down a number of the scenes. You've got the introduction of Yoshi. Then you've got Yoshi, Toad, and Mario and Luigi are babies. You've got Mario and Luigi in the desert getting the fire flower and going through the pyramid. You got Peach in space with Toad, like going through the different galaxies. Then you got Rosalina showing up and fighting, and fighting stuff. And it's like, and then Bowser Jr. on top of all of that, like it seems like there's a ton going on with this movie, and it's all in 90 minutes. It's like 3 minutes longer than the last one. So yeah, hey, literally asked that question. How long is the runtime? It's 3 minutes more than the last movie. So I think it's like uh, 95 minutes or something like that. Like it's not long. It's not long. So I actually watched the first movie on my birthday. It was on while I was eating breakfast after the gym, and so it's so fun. Like it's just so fun. I feel like I find something new. I notice something new every time I watch that movie, and I've probably seen it, you know, a dozen times. Like because I'll just put it on as background. So I want to say what's up. The Cleva is here. Onyx Primal, what's happening? Welcome on in. Steak said 5 out of 10. Not enough barrel rolls. Yes. Joey Pitts, of course, says Diddy Kong. I think everybody needs to take a shot every time Joey says Diddy Kong. Um, so yeah, Hay said 90 minutes with a crying face. Yeah, I know. I think everybody would want it longer, right? But I mean, again, just to show you how slow the news day is, this is the kind of stuff that's getting picked up. The gamer uh uh screen rant, like Yahoo. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that it's just everything's so slow. And apparently there's supposed to be a Nintendo Direct that may get announced tomorrow, but like I'm not holding my breath at this point. And like, yo, uh, what do we do? We just play our backlog. And we start doing NSO game of the week. So let's talk about it, you guys. I got I'm taking a look at the different. We got Game Boy Advance, NES, GameCube, of course, if you're on Switch 2 and have the expansion pack, N64, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, and then the Sega Genesis as well. So let's talk about it. What should we do for a NSO game of the week this week? Nate says everybody should buy Bomberman. Joey says Earthbound. Okay, well let's see. Are we talking Earthbound Beginnings on the NES or on the Super Nintendo? Probably not the shortest game. Like we can get a nice little taste of what it's like. So the Virtual Boy, yeah, okay. The, Jason says the movie already has too much. Star Fox needs his own movie. There you go. Yoshi is here. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. The SNES version. Okay. I mean, I think it's unlikely that that we can play all the way through it, but it's a cult classic, right? When it comes to Nintendo, so I'm down. You guys cool with that? What we'll do is we will put a bit of time into Earthbound. Let me see. Where's it? Is it close to the top? No. I just gotta locate it here. I'm in NSO as we speak. I think I can share screen on this as well. It is on here, right? On NSO? I know beginnings is for sure. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. I was like, what is the cup? Now all of a sudden I can't remember what the box looks like. Um so yeah, so we can do Earthbound. And I'm not expecting anybody to beat it, but put a little bit of time into it. That's what I'm gonna do. I've never really played it. So um Joey said no, but get a taste. My goal is in the next 10 years to get uh Earthbound remade or revived. There you go. Okay. That's that's a good goal. That is definitely a good goal. So Yoshi says I'm looking forward to Bomberman. It'll be it'll be so much fun to relive, or so nice to relive some chaos. Yeah, Nate is a huge fan. Huge fan. I need to pick it up. I need to pick up that collection. I've Bomberman is not a series I've played much of at all. So, um oh, Joey plays through Earthbound uh once a year. Very cool. Very cool stuff. So, let's see. Cleva the Great says I like the background of the studio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. These I've been using the guitars a whole lot more as I'm working on an album. So that's that's been fun. Getting my chops up playing my playing my instruments again, which has been super fun. It's why I haven't been gaming nearly as much, honestly. Uh from spending so much time learning how to mix and master and everything. It's really fun. Really fun. So Earthbound's going to be our NSO game of the week for next week. So jump on in. Jump on in and uh you can keep the conversation going in Discord if you want as well. The album's going good. Hey, the album is going great. Steak says Christmas album. No, it's just going to be like a like like a pop punk, maybe a little bit of metal mixed in. Um and just kind of seeing what it's one of those things that, like, I know my limitations, but I'm also growing and learning. So it's just gonna see what I can do. I feel like I'm picking up where 16-year-old Josh left off when I used to play in all kinds of punk bands. Mostly played drums in those bands. So Yoshi says played it with my brothers growing up. It was so much fun with the amount of chaos it will give with Bomberman. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like everybody that played it back in the day has such a strong sense of nostalgia for it. So the I feel like the only time I spent much time with Bomberman was on was the Switch game, the Switch launch game, and I didn't play that I didn't play that all that much. So uh I will say that I I feel like my backlog is getting crazy. I have not put as much time into Animal Crossing as I was really hoping to. My daughters collected a bunch of like the old NES stuff for me because I still haven't unlocked it. So I gotta go pick that up from her. Um, oh, here we go. Here we go. Joey says, "Come on, guys, you've never seen N64 Josh and Nickelback in the same room together. Nice." 1985 will be titled 2005 if done now. Yep, definitely. Definitely. Clever the Great says, guess I have to dust off the old SNES Classic to play some Earthbound. Let's go. Let's go. It is on NSO if you have NSO. So, oh, you guys, here's a great question from M. M is going to be joining the the ranks of Switch 2 ownership here. So she asked, what should one of my first purchases be for the Switch 2? besides the actual console, T minus 3 days or so. So I'm going to say, although I know you play a lot of handheld, I'm going to say Pro Controller. I think it is. I think it is an absolute must. Best one of, if not the best controller I've ever played. And then if you're talking games, Joey has said Donkey Kong Bonanza, a screen protector, absolutely number one. Number one, get a screen protector on there, no question. So, but if you want actual games, then Donkey Kong is super super good. I know Nate loves Kirby Air Riders, so if you want to get some games of Kirby Air Riders in with Nate, make sure to pick up Kirby Air Riders. Um, I'm gonna say Mario Tennis. I'm gonna say Mario Tennis also. I think it's worth the pickup. I really, really do. So M said I was counting on you to say Pro Controller. Yes. Steak says handheld. I would suggest a grip. There we go. Pokemon fan is here. Welcome on in. I see Nintendo Nintendo X2 Dope. What's going on? Said Bomberman is a classic. Bomberman 64 and 2. Hero are all awesome. Love that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, and of course, like M, I don't know if you've played how much of like the Zelda games you've played, but some of the upgrade packs, Animal Crossing is $5 so that you can do 12 players and have the updated uh like the upres graphics. You've also got like Kirby and the Forgotten Land has the $20 upgrade as well. So let's see. Let's see. Speaking of fever, I've been dribbling in online ranked matches. Those are sweaty. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, Prime 4. Yes. Metroid Prime 4. Super, super good as well. Love that one. Great, great call out, Onyx. So many, like so many um great games. Oh yeah. And M, if you like Pokemon, Legends ZA is also a lot of fun. Like I couldn't put that one down. So that's another one I'd recommend. And then I'm just gonna kind of look at my list here. Like I'll go ahead and share my screen. You guys can we can kind of look together. Let's see here. We got this. There we go. So let me turn it on. Swap it. Perfect. Okay. So you're getting World. Oh, of course you got. I like knowing how much you love Mario Party. I would say the Jamboree TV is probably a good pickup for you if you have other people with this version to play with, because there's actually some stellar content hidden in there. I know you think M thinks Madden is unplayable, but it's worth picking up for sure. So there's a couple of indies that I wanted to mention. If you're into something like Star Wars Outlaws or whatever, that's fun. Street Fighter's great. Final Fantasy's great. Uh, Indie games, you've got Suka Game Planet, Cast and Chill's fantastic. Um, like I really enjoy Cast and Chill. It's super super good. Stardew Valley got an update today, you guys. So if you're a Stardew Valley fan, um, I I suggest getting that download going. Ball Pit, fantastic. Neon Inferno as well. So just to name a few. Silk Song also great. So may have fun with the extra Mario Party. I think so, and I have it, so we can do it on stream. And so just keep that in mind. We could do it on stream as well as off stream as also. So yeah, people do love Silk Song and Hollow Knight. No question. So Heave Ho is a game I wish so badly we get online. If you guys have like if you have kids or roommates or something, Heave Ho is a must own on Switch. A must own on Switch. So of course Celeste, yes, fantastic. Uh Jason says No Man's Sky is on sale right now. There we go. There we go. Um Pokemon fan says because I got it and I was like, I can't I was like, wait, I can't. We can't do this. Were you talking? Were you talking Silk Song Hollow Knight? A little bit tough. You see Dragon Drive? Oh yeah, yep, yeah. Nintendo was kind enough to send out copies of Dragon Drive. Super super cool of them for that. So Ninja Gaiden, fantastic, fantastic, super super good. Cyberpunk, from what I played, was really great too. Really great. Octopath, Joycey loves. Oh yes, yeah, for sure. For sure. So, oh, there's the meaning of the Hollower demo we were talking about yesterday. So, yeah, just to name a few, I got to get some of those games off the screen though before Nate sees them because I know what will end up happening there. So, so many fun games, honestly. Just so much good stuff to play on the Switch too. It's just that like everything it feels a bit slow right now. It feels like it just seems like the news is a bit slow. I feel like the partner direct was strong. The demo for Pragmata is out. We got Resident Evil coming out soon. Like it's not like there isn't games coming out. Mario Tennis Fever just came out. I just feel like the gaming community, the online gaming community just likes having news. We just like having stuff to talk about. We like it's if you're a sports fan and you like every sport, then like once football ends, I think basketball's going, then baseball, right? Like you've got something that you're always getting into, hockey, whatever. If you're into gaming, the news is it's what keeps the conversations going. It keeps people excited. But like yeah, Pokemon fan says that the Pokemon Presents is coming up. Yeah, people are not happy. So Joey said, "Welcome Tour is a must own." So there you go. Um, Hay said Steam won some lawsuit today. I think nice. So let's see. Jason says, "I'm excited for Captain uh, Tsubasa 2. One of the first game was my second most played game this year. Oh, interesting. Um, M said we had what will Switch 2 look like for so long? It feels like a lot of nothing in comparison. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Joey says gaming community needs constant games coming out. Otherwise, it's slow. Steak said Star Trek Voyager game released today and has a demo. There you go. Pokemon fan says, I mean, the problem is Nash shouldn't have said what he said. Yeah, it gets people's expectations pretty high, right? And and oh, and he also said March. And see, I don't even know what he said. I saw some messages today or like some posts today saying he's got 24 hours, otherwise he's not reliable. And I just like whatever. Like when it happens, it happens. So yeah, people like to just run with anything and everything, especially if they can get them their clicks. That's what the clicks pay the bills. One of the things I wanted to talk about real quick is yeah, this was I think it might have been from yesterday's news. And where did I see? Maybe page two. Give me one sec. Okay, so this article is coming out of Japan. It's from My Nintendo News, and basically it says young gamers not forming same attachment to Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest due to lengthy dev times. It says a large number of Japanese gamers have been discussing on social media why younger gamers are not getting into beloved video game franchises like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. They have concluded that younger Japanese gamers are not forming the same attachment to Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest due to the lengthy development times it takes for new entries in the series to appear. While the franchises remain very popular in Japan, they resonate less with the youth and more with the older gamers who grew up with the games in their childhoods. And so this, I mean, look, as a parent who, I mean, I gave my kids had a GameCube in their room, right? We played Wii together all the time. Like Nintendo games were very much a part of our pastime. And I could get like my younger son more so he would play like Monster Hunter and Smash, and his older brother would play Smash and stuff as well. But like when games like Fortnite finally came out, that dominated their time. You know, the younger one played Destiny. They both played a little bit of COD, but that was pretty much it. And COD was like, you know, Warzone or maybe like Team Deathmatch. It wasn't like single player stuff. And so like I very much see this could be being somewhat of a problem. Like I would try to get them into like The Legend of Zelda, stuff like that. Wouldn't happen. Mario games, yes. I could get them to play Mario games, but like Zelda games, nope. Wasn't their thing. Metroid, not happening. Like, not happening. Party games and party games and Mario games. Like stuff that they could be we could do multiple like we would play like Nintendo Land with all 6 of us, right? And you could put 2 people on the gamepad and that would that was pretty cool. But outside of that, like and even my daughters, like they love Animal Crossing. They're very excited for Tamagotchi life. My youngest, her very first Mario game that she completed was Mario 3D World, and she loved it. And it's very fond memory. And when they were little, they both liked to play New Super Mario Brothers Wii, which was also great. And the younger one did get into some she has dipped her toes in the water with, like, Breath of the Wild because she had a friend that was kind of into it, but it really had nothing to do with me other than she just needed my copy of the game. So, like, I've experienced this firsthand, and then when you have these lengthier, dev cycles, like, if I look back to when I was a kid, like, Mario 1 was, like, 85, right? I probably got it 86. I think 88, we finally had Mario 2. Now, I may not have gotten it until, like, 89 because of the chip shortage, but it was still, like, not super long dev cycles. Then, like, what, like, I think Mario 3, which I didn't own, but I got to play quite a bit, was also, like, 89 or 90. And then you had Mario, World in, like, 92. So you're talking in, like, less than 10 years, we had 4 Mario games to play. And so and Nate's making a great point too. Gears 1, 2, 3, Halo 3, ODST, all on the same uh all on the same gen. Hay says when you were a kid you were playing the radio. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I was playing a lot of just playing with rocks and trying to invent new games for everybody to play. Um and so these dev cycles are they're definitely a thing, right? I mean, look at how many people right now are talking about 3D Mario, and rightfully so. Look how long it's been. Now I feel like 3D Mario has been slower, but in the time it took from Tears to Breath of the Wild to Tears, we almost had we had 3 Mario games on NES. Now, it's game development's much different now. The worlds are much bigger. Like, I understand all that. I'm not saying that the game development cycle should be just as short, but what I am saying is that I understand what's going on here. People are forgetting. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, like, they're not Mario. They aren't Mario. Pokemon fan says kids nowadays like Roblox, which like Roblox to me is somewhat of an anomaly. Like I get it, you get to like it's just kind of like it's a metaverse, right? It's kind of like Minecraft. You can just make your own stuff. It also looks terrible, but they don't seem to care. Like they don't seem to care, which is somewhat crazy to me. But it's just not a thing. They just don't worry about it. They just, hey, whatever. We're playing as a community. We're having fun doing our thing. So that's always been kind of interesting to me as well. Uh, let's see. Hay says, you invented the game Fire. This is true. Pokemon fan says Fortnite. Yep. Roblox, Fortnite. Yeah. And I mean, there's massive, massive install bases behind those games. Huge, 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 huge. Joey says, because games have to be over the top realistic or content filled that they take longer to make. Yeah, no question. No, no question. But I even look at like DK Bonanza and the sales numbers of that. Like I honestly thought it would sell a lot more. I thought there would be enough hype around it from how many people were talking it up, how much everybody was enjoying it, that it would have moved more copies. I was actually surprised that it did not move more copies. But I mean, only a third of the Switch 2 owners pulled the trigger on it. Maybe it's better after the holidays. We'll have to wait and see. But I think at this point right now it's sitting at a third, maybe even less than a third. And DK is incredible. Like it is. I know it's not 3D Mario, but like it really did scratch that 3D platforming itch for me. It really did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a 3D Mario, but I'm like DK was amazing. Uh, it was amazing. So Joey says, okay, but did DK sell enough to get a sequel? I would guess so. I would guess so. So Pokemon fan says it's not like Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon. But hopefully maybe there's an opportunity for it to get there, you know? Like I feel and maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like it was a good enough game that it could have been it can be in the same conversation as Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon. It seems stellar. Like completely stellar to me. So, oh, interesting. Nintendo X2 Dope says Bonanza was not the way. As a lifelong DK fan, I could not get into Bonanza. Interesting. Interesting. Because I I thought it was great. And I love Donkey Kong Country. Like I played like the first game to like 99% until my little brother erased it. So uh Nadine A said Prime 4 not hitting 2 million is that one's crazy to me. That's crazy. And it's so unfortunate because so many people are missing out on great games. But it's like w- w- who's Prime 4's demographic? Right? Because it's not the younger kids. It's teenagers. Probably not many teenagers are going to be picking it up. And so it's got to be a lot of the old time fans. So um it's it oh, Brandon says Prime 4 Rock, stop listening to the hate. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. Like I hope more people play it. It's so good. I hope more people get into it. Pokemon fan says, let's see. Pokemon is like a movement. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. And I think Brandon also said Bonanza is evergreen. I agree. Like I do. Um we don't listen to hate here, just facts, Nate said. Yeah, because and I never talk about Zelda's foot as something more. Joey said, now could Prime 4 sales numbers be fidgety because I got the Switch 1 version, then upgraded because it was cheaper through Sam's Club, so that would be a Switch 1 sale. No, it's like 2 million combined. Like it only moved 2 million units combined. I don't even think at this point, I don't think it outsold Dread. I think it's a million behind Dread. So, which is like, don't you guys think if Dread sold that many, that Prime 4 would do similar numbers? Obviously, it's first person, but, like, it's still Metroid. Like, I can't get an like, Dread was fantastic. I want more of it. I want in any kind of I just want more Metroid of any kind. So, it, like, I hope I don't think it's going to I don't think the series is gonna, like, go away. And, if they have all the assets essentially for Switch 2 at this point, that maybe the next dev cycle could be much shorter to get a sequel out. They also kinda left it on a little bit of a cliffhanger, like some unresolved stuff, right? So I think there's a chance that we can we'll see more from Metroid Prime. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Brandon White says the music, the gameplay, and the graphics are outstanding in Prime 4 and Bonanza. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's see. Neither game reported 1 million for either version. Interesting. Pokemon fan says I think the problem is marketing. It could be. Could be. I feel like the marketing was kind of messed up due to the fact that the game kind of was delayed and we didn't know when the release date was, and then Hyrule Warriors came out, and there was. Do you guys think if Prime 4 had been early holiday, like October, early November, do you think it then would have sold a little bit better through the main it like I almost feel like the holiday shopping season is kind of done after Black Friday, not entirely, but to a certain extent. And they obviously weren't going to be putting anything on sale, which a lot of people are always they are looking for sales around that time. And so I wonder if it had had longer time, if it would have done better. You know, they they're making a Resident Evil controller, but would a Prime controller have helped do numbers? So, um, Hay says the Switch 2 has only sold around 15 million units, so it's not like those people are going to like first person shooters. Some might not like platformers, so we'll just have to wait for a bigger player base. That's true. That's true. And I mean, mm, it's just the thing that's crazy is there's 100 and um like 170 million units between both the Switch 1 and Switch 2, and Prime was on both of them. So that's what's a bit interesting there. Uh, Nintendo X2 Dope said, I think not only are we in a transition in the games industry, I think we are also in a new era where us old hats of gaming have mostly died or dipped out of gaming. Legacy franchises may not sell. It could be. Yeah. Nate says, I don't think so. Prime is just niche. I think it will be there and with Fire Emblem and Xenoblade. I think the difference is Fire Emblem and Xenoblade both sell like in Japan very well too. So, um, in the top, like it will not sell in the top echelon anymore. Yeah, that could be those legacy franchises for sure. Nate said Metroid, especially the Prime spinoff, isn't big enough for bundles. And you're probably I don't know that it would have moved the needle all that much. I don't know. Uh, Nintendo XCW says we are getting old, my friends. Little 8-year-old Timmy doesn't care about Metroid. What like it's funny because you know, my girlfriend's son is 11, and so I'll be like, "Hey, you should check out Metroid Prime. You want me to put it on your system?" But he's having too much fun with Emerald Rush on DK Bonanza, or he's a bit of an oddity. He will play Fortnite, but he'll also play Cult of the Lamb, or he loves Kirby games. Kirby's probably his favorite character, and so He's definitely a Nintendo gamer. Like I hand him games and he'll typically play all the way through them. Uh, Now he I gave him Donkey Kong Country HD Returns, and it got to a point that he was like, "This is so hard that I'm not having fun." And so then he didn't finish that one. But for the most part, he finishes almost everything I send his way. So, um, let's see. Figure Drawing said Super Metroid SNES only sold 1.4 million. Doesn't matter. One of the best games of all time. Agreed. Yeah, it's in my top five. One of my top five games of all time. No question. No question at all. So, uh, oh my goodness, we got a Nintendo Hawk raid. Let's go. Let's go. And also go Hawks, right? Make sure you guys give Nintendo Hawk a follow. Thank you so much for bringing your crew over. Much appreciated. We are just wrapping up the nightly podcast right now. So Charles says Metroid Prime 4 took so long to release. It was meant for Switch. Thought was coming out at launch. After the launch, they were showing a game in April. No release date. People weren't buying this Christmas. Also true. Also true. Let's see. Crazy Crew said, "My question is it worth it to get a Switch 2?" Yes. I mean, for me, like I'm playing it. I've played I feel like I have been up until like January where I started focusing more on music. I was playing like from the launch of the Switch 2 up until right after Christmas. Like I couldn't get enough of the Switch 2. Like and I still have a backlog on there. So it yeah, I would say it's worth getting. It's worth getting just like but Mario Kart World is one of my favorites. Bonanza is fantastic. I'm loving Mario Tennis Fever. I think it's so good. So, Seahawks won on their 50th anniversary too. Yeah, super super cool. Super cool. So, yeah, and I think overall gaming is in somewhat of a weird just a kind of a weird place. I don't know like these companies I don't know if they really know what to do with games like Fortnite and you know the free to play models. Like Sony tried competing, making a bunch of them. They all got canceled. We saw what Star Wars Hunters came and went. You know, and so like Apex Legends, I don't really hear that talked about all that much, but it did have, for a while it was doing very, very well. Nady Nay said, "Is it worth donating my Nintendo Switch 2?" Right? Like, I mean, it really depends on the games you love, you know? So, um, M says, "I'm excited even though I've waited longer than I thought I would. I didn't have immediate FOMO for everything coming out." Yeah, I I I think that FOMO probably would have been far, far, uh, worse had everybody fallen in love with Mario Kart World the way they did with 8. If everybody just kind of moved over into Mario Kart World and the momentum that I feel like 8 never really lost had stayed, I think the FOMO for people would have been would have been there. But I think because it kind of like it was almost a bit of a flash in the pan for some people. Some people weren't quite as stoked about it as others. It it eased a bit of that FOMO. So, Nate says if companies don't know what to do, the immediate decision should not be to overcharge these, and probably that's probably not the best thing, right? But I mean, even like, what was the? You guys tell me. I haven't seen the entire state of play from Sony. What was the biggest thing from that event? It looked to me like from the most excitement that I saw was from the God of War 1 through 3 remakes. Remakes, not something new. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I was seeing when it came to the hype around it. So, uh Nintendo says I'm enjoying the Switch too, but I think so far Bonanza has been the most exciting game for me, waiting for the next 3D Zelda and Mario. A lot of people there. M said, "Yeah, I definitely agree, but also just life, haha. Like having other stuff to pay for naturally, it fell down the list a bit more than I expected." That's true. That is true. Joey says, "Okay, Mario Kart World desperately needs DLC and desperately needs Diddy Kong." Okay, everyone take a shot. Yes, there we go. Um, let's see. Hay says probably the God of War stuff or John Wick game, right? Yeah, but it like to my point, it's one's a remake. The John Wick game is new, which I think I did see a little bit of that, and that looks like I'm all about it. But that's that's so strange to me, right? That we just live in this world of remakes. Nintendo does it. I mean, Xbox is just kind of doing Xbox at this point, and but Sony's been living in the remake, the HD remake, all that kind of stuff. Where's where's the new where's the new games? I think because we've really seen it when it comes to the entertainment industry with things like Hollywood, there's not a lot of new films. There's a lot of stuff being remade. So very, very interesting stuff there. Onyx Primal says what Mario Kart World needs is my precious what I mean, let's do it. Let's I don't even, I'm not even sure I know what that is, but I'm here for it. I am here for it. So Nintendox says, what is going on with Zelda's 40th anniversary? Yeah, we got to get something soon. I would think there's got to be something in the works. But again, like we're in an era of Nintendo that we really haven't been in since like the GameCube, and that is an era where they want third parties to flourish on this system. And so I think they have to like pump those brakes and let them shine. You know, I see people saying, "Oh, we don't know anything that's coming out this year." That's not true. That's not true. The Hucket Crab. Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, I gotta make sure. So, um, for Mario Bros. U, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. The They're like we may not see as much first party. It may be like here's maybe it's maybe we see 6 main first party games a year instead of the 12 that we got in the first year of Switch 1 and then the first 2 years of Switch 1. Like Nintendo had their back against the wall. They don't anymore. And I think it's just about finding that cadence of releases and making sure that there's good first party stuff while other I mean, we got Mario Tennis Fever and a couple more days we're going to have Resident Evil. Like that's two pretty big. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say tennis. The sports game is probably a little bit niche. Resident Evil is probably a little bit niche as well. But I also think it's a fairly popular series that a lot of people are going to be into. So, uh, yeah, and Nintendo is saying waiting to hear more about Dust Bloods. There was news we talked about at the beginning of the show. There was two things with that. Australia eShop put a like one of the coming soon games, and then a Finnish retailer posted that the game is coming out March 27th. So we'll have to wait and see if that is true or not. So, you know, let's see. Let's see. I think okay. Joey said, "Imagine if Nintendo worked with Fortnite and added that free Samus skin. If you own Metroid Prime 4 on Switch 2, yeah, they did not want Samus to be visible on other consoles, which I don't understand why. I don't understand why. It probably would have sold like if they could have potentially used Fortnite as a marketing machine to get more people into Metroid, and that would have been great. That would have been great. So, well, guys, we're just about at that hour mark. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, and just kind of doing like I know we didn't have like a ton of topics. The news is kind of slow, and it was just this hangout time of letting you guys kind of pick topics and ask questions and keeping the conversation going. I love this. We got our NSO game of the week. We're going to jump into Earthbound. We'll talk about it in a week next Wednesday. So, and what we'll do is we don't necessarily have to spend the whole episode chatting about that game. We'll just include it as a segment next Wednesday, and we'll pick our next game. And so it should be fun. But I'm excited to get that going again, so that we're playing some games. So appreciate you guys so very much, and as always, play it loud.